Not going to be a particularly long session, this one. Probably about an hour and 20 minutes. As I have something cooking away in the kitchen, which will turn into a lump of charcoal if I don't keep an eye on the time. So, part 31, we move to another Atlas interface system, which needs naming. And we'll... that was quite an interesting one. I will leave the full subscriber name for an intriguing regular system. Yeah, it's taking a while to load up here. This rate could be an entire stream of pretty little stars. Yes, today I've been a little bit of shopping, all the good exciting householdy sort of stuff. But also been trying to get my head into AngularJS. I'll probably be doing some research into Node. I'm more of a classical coder. Right, this system we'll call Atlas Colby. This will be the planet Rill. And we've got 13 species. And the other thing I want to check before getting back out is my extreme... Right, we're at 1.8 away, 6.2. Now this was listed as an extreme weather. If I forget, 1.8. There are some huge creatures on this planet. Well, it's quite close rather than huge, but I did sit down. There we go. Near the coastline. I do expect to come across some aquatic life. There's quite a lot of liquid on this planet. Pop in and say hi to the local. Battle into suit malfunctions. Bike grenade. The gift of a multi-tool. Okay, you're a 19 slot. Mining beam can't be moved. I don't think it can. That's not bad. I need to relocate the bolt caster and the scanner. Oh, that'll do. Yeah, we'll have that. I couldn't sort out the old kit. Right, so don't want ricochet. We've got the scanner there. Sigma's cheap. You, and you. Dismantle the scanner and the ricochet. Dismantle them. We can't dismantle the mining beam. We can dismantle the bolt caster though. I might put the bolt caster down there. Right, plasma launcher. Yes. Get rid of that. Get a beam intensifier. And a beam focus. Right, I want a scanner. And the range boost. Rebounds. High velocity grenades is nice, but intensity is better. Let's dump the bolt caster. Load the bolt caster on the bottom. Recall stabilizer. Okay. Okay, we're going to need iridium. Ricochet I don't want. Neutrino models, nickel. Okay, we've got some... so let's look at this. So we've got beam coolant. So iridium is a high priority material. Get combat amplifier. Radnox. Okay, beam intensity, copper and iron. Chrysonite. Okay, we're going to be a little bit weaker than we were. Let's look at gun upgrades then. Reload accelerant. Okay. Recoil stabilizer. Reload accelerant, so we can load up quicker. Damage increases really. Grenade propulsion. Grenade damage. So aluminium, nickel and iridium. So we need a fair bit of the goods. I don't care about that. Okay, resources might be a little less than ideal here, so we might have to grab what we can and trade for the rest. And we have airborne life. No, aircraft. Got an unknown life form in this direction. I always meet the unfriendly ones. Okay, let's check out the hills. Oh, hi Martin. Didn't see you there. Go on, stand still. Good to see you, and how have you been? Is this counting as an extreme environment? No. Pity. Can I creep under there? Clipping. Alright, let's head up the hillside. Right, let's move you. Do we have the resources for cold? Lots of carbon, righty-ho. Lots of iron and carbon at the moment. You're just background fluff. Unfortunately, didn't get an interview call back at the moment. The agent did give us a call Tuesday, just after the bank holiday, up in, and he was, after he'd spoken to me, he had an arranged call with the company. So. Been a couple of days, so I suspect probably not taken up on that one. A couple of other opportunities for nearby cropped up today, so the market's picking up now. So still early days. Still got enough savings to keep me going till Christmas, January. So that's a long time to start looking for work, so... Ooh, nearly about to freeze to death. It's... The recharge, have we got enough for the level 1? Yeah. More carbon, lots more carbon. Need a bigger plant. Yeah, I've been sticking my head into various more scripting text, Angular. Looks like an opportunity to learn Node as well. I'm not the greatest JavaScript aficionado. I can definitely read the stuff. Probably software development, Martin. Trying to get into sort of the ASP web techs. Got a strong background in development after working for a company based in sort of the finance area. Emerald's not really what I'm looking for. I had a sort of 18-month sabbatical, so I just started looking for work again. And I've definitely got a bit rusty. So I've been trying to get the skills up and running again. But once I get me into a position, it won't take me long to get up to speed. Alright, what sort of resource are you? Looks like gold. Done sort of over 16 years of software, so having to pick up bits and pieces. I can understand why there's this sort of a concern when you've had a long downtime. Definitely not quite as sharp as I was. It's coming back to us. Basic design isn't particularly difficult. And picking up the new stuff is relatively straightforward as well. A lot of concepts are recycled. Right, iridium I need. Well, I mean, I did have a JSON-backed version, but doing an improvement now using SQL databases. It's basically going to be an online version of my CV with not too much direct contact details, just going back to my LinkedIn, just so I don't get completely hammered with crud. I can then add sort of demonstrative bits of tech such as jQuery and so forth to it. Yeah, I did sort of consider becoming a games writer a long time ago, but I do have a mortgage, so there's a certain requirement of coming in. But yeah, I could become a game tester. It's definitely not completely out of the question. I've got a friend as well who's just finished working for a company, and I think he's got a startup idea he wants to talk to us about, so that's a week Monday, so it's popped down lubricating with some of the homebrew mead and see what he has to say. Get him very drunk and get him to sign over loads of the company to me. Okay, going round in circles. But I don't further this sort of development. I do have I think I mentioned an idea, a possible idea for a Sudoku-y themed multiplayer game. Still got to flesh out a little bit of the idea. It's not quite there yet. All need aluminium nickel and plutonium. Damage radius could be useful. Rebound. Homing was useless. Chrysonite. And neutrino modules, which are relatively straightforward. Yeah, there's a little bit more fleshing out on this Sudoku-y thing, and it's probably been done before. I'd have to check. At the very least. Be a bit of fun, and I can use something like Unity and use C# to keep that kind of thing going. Like the Luddenham Dares and so forth. Maybe I should have a bash at that, the next one coming up. Yeah, done the sort of design and development. That's my sort of key joy. Data migration as well. I didn't realise it was called that, we just called it Take On at the company. It wasn't until I was chatting to a data migration chap that it was pointed out, "Oh, you little basket. Where are you?" Ah. In fact, I was chatting with him. There is a possibility to maybe write some data migration tools, but that's not going to be an instant paying job, and I need something that pays enough to pay the mortgage. So that'll be get settled in with something, even if it's only sort of fixed term contract work, which is the most recent options being offered to us. It's somewhat local, so and in the finance area, so if I can get me foot in the door with a bank, that'd be quite good. Yeah, I've been studying away. The reason I think I mentioned was the quietness over the bank holiday weekend was getting my head stuck back in to rewriting the CV. The SQL based back end, which is coming on. Had a little problem with a many-to-many entity framework relationship, getting that working the way I wanted it, getting the checkboxes passing the data back rather than doing directly with the model. I decided to use the form collection. And getting that it was just a silly little thing in the end. I had to specify the relationship in the on build. That had created the table successfully. It hadn't created the mapping automatically. Then after that, it was making sure I had the ID property set on the checkbox controls on the web page. And once those two little things were sorted, I could get me selection sorted, which was kind of fun. Because last time you were here, Martin, you were looking at possibly pick up a game creating software and redoing your terrain generator, if I recall correctly. How's that going? bauxite at the moment. Need some rarer minerals. Iridium, copper, chrysolite. That's a iridium spire. It could be scenery, or it could be copper. Oh, hello, fishy, fishy, fishy. Almost ray-like with those wings. Check out that, could be copper. Iridium, as far as I remember, tends to be in arch-shaped structures rather than tall spires. Nickel, oh good. That's one of the materials I need to start upgrading this multi-tool. Definitely be going for some of that. Grab a little bit more carbon. Something needed carbon and nickel. An increased damage radius, which is less important than a straight up damage boost. Rapid fire. There we go. Bolt caster upgrade. Combat amplifier. Need copper for that. Chrysolite, so yes. Reload accelerant, rapid fire. Increase clip. Improve the damage boost at the same time. I need iridium. Clip. I might as well grab some more nickel then. Get 2 or 3 more mining laser upgrades. let's go do something there. Something gamey be good for business interviews. It's like, yeah, there's a computer game I wrote. I'm serious businessy type. Yeah, probably. Code is code in the end. You're an interesting floating rock. Are you a resource rock, or are you just background rock? You might be just background rock. Let's have a look. That'll be iron. Kind of expect to be something different. Not too cold, this water. In fact, it's slightly warmer than the surface. OGL. Ah, alright. I did C++ years ago at university. It's been a long time. I've not had any real exposure to the graphic languages. I was looking for... Aha. Yeah, you were just interesting rock formation. Let's go swimming. It's a bit... So yeah, C-sharp's pretty straightforward. I mean, you come from a sort of C++ OO side of things. Then getting to C# isn't particularly difficult at all. Predominantly sort of Lotus Notes based stuff, so VB, single class hierarchy stuff. Did a bit of Java as well a long time ago, so C# is familiar enough and a little bit more marketable these days. So the C++ bugs, were they these were the ones that your libraries had in them, or the bugs you created yourself? Because the obviously the reference pointers of C and C++ can lead to some very nasty little problems if you're not careful. You can exceed memory bounds and end up stepping into other little bits. Things like C# got more managed on that. That you can go down to that direct memory mapping level with the unsafe keyword. If you need to. But yeah, picking up a language these days, and you got YouTube and so forth available with tutorials. There's obviously things like MVA, Microsoft Visual Academy, and various documents, as well as the classic give me the big thumping paper manuals. I've got a press collection forming. Definitely makes finding the info you need a lot easier. I'm looking at I can read JavaScript. I haven't done much coding in it at the moment, but Again, it's reasonably sensible. Right, let's have a check for blueprints. Or I should say blueprint locations. Don't think we can do any mining laser upgrades. Let's double check, or at least any useful ones. Combat amplifier I don't really care about. Beam focus is useful. And combat amplifier isn't completely awful, and it will boost the other ones. Combat amplifier, coolant system, iridium, right, and beam focus really. Exosuit, bypass chip. Ooh. There was something I was going to build that needed microdensity fibre, I think. It's, top that up for the moment. Is it a grenade upgrade? Grenade propulsion, rebound, homing, damage. No, it wasn't grenade. That might have just been then. Reload, ricochet I don't really care about. Short burst, shotgun mode, no. Clip, there we go, clip sigma. 2 fibres. Wow. Yeah, that's obscure. It's something not happy about something then. It crashes with a completely blank template. That's terrifying. Yeah, I mean, if something's going squiffy, I mean, the danger is if you're using a library of stuff, someone has decided to go for the it was a well, you got where they just captured the exception and print up error or unknown error, which is no help to man nor beast. That one, seen that with Magic Jewels, just crashes with unknown error. It's like, how is that going to help anybody, including your coders, to find out what's going wrong? It was one thing my former boss was very keen on was useful error messages. Always handle the exception, try and work out what's going on. It was in Lotus Notes, object variable set was the example. It's like, what uses that? What object? In what area? As you're running a debug, how a user seeing that, what are they going to experience? What are they going to think? It's like, how are they going to report back and tell you what's wrong? It's just, an object variable not set when I did something. It's like, yeah, because they don't remember exactly what they did to cause it. Also, the exception handlers in C# where you can specify the type of exceptions you're expecting. I mean, you've still got the good old exception E, but you'd really want to grab as much info out of that as possible to give you a hope in hell of working out what's going on. And the IDEs today, I mean, make things a lot easier. Back in the day when we had to code everything into a text file basically and get things cracking with that, in that route. code completion snippets and all that good stuff these days. Definitely speeds things up. Aha! Are you new? Yes. Grenade. Yeah, no, you're not getting Right, you little swines, come and attack me. Ah! It's me ammo camp. Some zinc. Ah, cobalt. Did more Pascal. So, yeah, it's 8086 assembler, LDA, LDX. BBC Micro Basic. But the my previous employer, I had to pick up. I'd done a lot of C++ when I was studying, but the job I left back in November 14. My interview, they want me to use Simple C. It's like, you know, I've got C++. I've not really done any C. I mean, I've heard of standard in and so forth. So I ended up having to do the program with the complete range of Simple C binder folders and learning Simple C on the fly while trying to do the interview test question. It's like, this is archaic stuff. It's like, where's C in, where's C out? Oh dear. We've got the code working. It was right to day of week calculator, basically given from the information you were starting off with. That if you had to write one yourself, sort of thing, if it didn't exist naturally in libraries. Fortunately, I forgot to reset an inner loop variable. So it worked for a lot of the test cases. And just before I was about to show it off, it did a couple more, and it's like, oh no, bugger. It's not working, there's a bug somewhere. So at the end of the interview I said, look, can I take the code back? I've got to find out where it's gone wrong. And it was like 30 seconds after getting in and then looking at it, it's like, oh, there you go, you muppet. Ah, Delphi, yeah. I remember Delphi. Clipper, well, DBase 3. The old firm was did a lot of Clipper stuff, so the study days in DBase 3 came in handy. Which I might need some Thamium as well, so let's grab that. You see a lot of repeated stuff that's given sort of new funky names. And some of the things with link inside C#, very similar to code blocks. Sort of the delegates as well, or virtual functions. And due to the scoping, you can attach to and C variables at the point of definition. With the zip link, there's 2 bits. You've got the almost SQL query stuff. What the heck? Is that getting mixed up with something else? Ah, that's it. Yeah, I'm confusing link and lambdas. The lambda expression where you can define a function on the fly. And then link, which is sort of you can do sort of like SQL statement syntax or fluent syntax dot notation. Works really nicely with database like queries. A lot of things with sort of coding these days is sometimes your problem is often out there. Someone else has usually discovered it. There's so many of us out and about. Sometimes finding the answer is a matter of just knowing how to Google the question properly. Sometimes though, you Google the question, find the answer, find the someone specifying the question, and then they're happy enough to say, I saw one, there was something I was looking up trying to solve a problem, and it was like, yep, that's exactly the problem. And it's like, end up doing a private conversation with the support rep, and their response to their own forum entry was, thanks very much rep for the help, that solved it. And it's like, well, what solved what? It's like, how about showing us this the thing in case it's exactly what someone else needs. That drove me completely up the wall, that one. And some fun bugs to sort out as well. Our my old company's external package was a Clipper program, so DOS based, that was being used, and it was running into problems over long rolls, unattended, as it was doing sort of the month-end processing and producing loads of transactions. That it hadn't locked up and crashed, but it would stop responding to the keyboard effectively, and just sit there, couldn't do a thing with it. And it was like floating around the help desk for months, and various things were being tried and checked by other members of staff. When it was chucked to me on a Friday afternoon, another colleague, solid developer, had managed to get a test case set up so at least we could reproduce the fault, which is half the battle. And I'll grab some more. That's chucked to me, so a little bit of Googling. It's still stormy out there. Pop me up to a little thing about a Visual Fox Pro program that stopped responding to keyboard on a hyper-threaded processor. And that sort of rang a bell. DOS programs don't like having their bits and pieces swapped amongst cores, playing a lot of old DOS games on modern computers, DOS boxy sort of thing. You have to set an affinity and make sure they stick in a single core. So it was just about lunchtime, so thinking about this, it's like, okay, it seems to be what's going on here, or could be. That and Visual Fox Pro comes from X-base as well. Same the D-base languages. No, I'm going around a big circle here. So I knew that was a shared set of backing code. Right, listen. So I knew the languages were related enough that they were possibly sharing common C code, or at least deep code together. So I was like, okay. So if that's the case, it was just a matter of getting the our application's primary process identified in the task manager, right click, and set affinity. Tell it to just run on a single core. And that fixed it. So you never know when that good old stuff's going to come in handy. That's quite nice to get that sort of maintained my reputation of just pulling solutions out from nowhere. my rep loads of good. Yeah, sort of 4 or 5 pages of answers in from the first page, and just kept going through, scanning the topic titles, and it just sort of went, oh, hang on a minute. I think that led me to having to look at PowerShell 2 as well. Oh, it's something different. The same site. They thought they were closing the program down with the Windows X button, which doesn't allow it to close its indexes off properly and release locks it needed to, resulting in the system ending up thinking it was it was in an unstable state at startup. The actual solution was somewhat different in the end, but the reason that it was ending up like that wasn't through that sort of interaction. But my boss came to me and said, right, I want you to disable the close button, which you can do relatively easy in PowerShell, and I want you to use PowerShell. It's like, yeah, okay. Not much joint there, so picked up some PowerShell. Grabbed the applications window by title, closed it. Actually, the first one was the active window, which I recognise that danger that No Man's Sky does when you go. Obviously, the way they switch to borderless full screen window in No Man's Sky is to grab the active window and make it borderless full screen, which, as I'd started No Man's Sky before I started OBS recording, I'd switch back to OBS, and so it went full screen window, borderless. What I wanted to do was to solve that little issue was have a little VB bootstrap program to run the mortgage application. In fact, any of our applications currently was launched through a batch file mechanism anyhow, but shift that to have a VB, that way I could control and get a window handle. Specifically, and then it'd be a lot easier to deal with. But that was rejected, so that wasn't any good. Keck trade, peace treaty, warrior trade. Right, need some iron. Found out that sometime after I left it was like, why were we doing it that way? It's like, why did he do it that way? It's like, because I was forced to do it that way. Because somebody wouldn't listen. But trying to find out, when you run a PowerShell shell from a DOS program, trying to find out that parent window, isn't that straightforward? Because you don't have a parent handled. The parent window has children handles, but you don't have a double link. Which was a pain. So you really need to sort of iterate through all the windows and try and find the right one. Oh yeah. I like that. Pull down all the buttons. Replicating we've had that before. Wasn't happy when someone put the handbag on the keyboard with the program active. It had a bit of a fit. Ah, what did I get there? I didn't see what blueprint. That one. There wasn't the Atlas pass. Right. We're doing good time. Coming up to an hour. So yeah, that does tend to upset many programs. having all the keys pressed simultaneously, or the vast majority. Little basket. I'm not sure we could actually prevent that crash from occurring. What's my current aim? I'm trying to get the journey milestone levels all to 10 before I get to the centre. But usually it's just sort of bimble around. This planet's got a reasonable amount of life forms on it. Let's just top up that. And this is quite a good system as well. There's... Does it tell me? No, it doesn't tell me here. It doesn't tell me there. There's one planet with 2 moons. Another planet looks pretty much like it's a water world, very blue. So it's the usual sort of check out the sites, see if there's any interesting creatures, interesting locations, just relax. But my intermediate goal to all of that will be to get this new multi-tool up to spec. So I'm going to need to find sources of copper, nickel, I found iridium, there's another one, and get it back up to the strength my old one was. A reasonable amount. Let's do it. Pop me protection there. So yeah, my multi-tool's definitely my grenade's a bit weaker, so I need to at least in a grenade point there. And the mining laser's not quite as strong. The bolt caster could do with some more ammunition slots, I think it had. A damage boost as well. So I'll probably get at least 2 more bolt caster points in there. Grenade tech in there. Probably mining laser here, or maybe another bolt caster upgrade. You've got a trading point. I might be able to pick up some of the bits and pieces I'm missing. What are you selling? Didn't need one of those neutrino. Right, you've got copper. Now I need some copper. Yeah, unfortunately nothing else I need. But yeah, so once I need to find a hostile planet. And this one isn't quite cutting it, apparently, for hostility levels, even though it was a red tagged weather setting. But it's not classified as an extreme environment. Because that one's going to take a while. The extreme environment one. So I'm going to be probably spending far too long on one of those style planets. Hopefully it'll be one with a good level of life on. It really only needs iron once I've built the appropriate hazmat material upgrade thingy. Wow, it's definitely chilling off. It's been approaching night time. I suspect I need like 20-30 souls on an extreme planet to get level 10. The other one, journey discovery wise, I think now it's just the jumps. I know. Starships, one more level effectively, so probably 80. Which would be the same as Sentinels, was 80 to get the level 10. That one I'm guessing is going to be about 20 to 30. And warp, well, I should make that on the way into the centre. Yeah, I'm going to your question about does it ever stop raining on this planet? No. This planet is the planet Rill. There. So, weather, pouring rain, never stops, it just gets wetter and colder. because of the plenty of liquid sunshine, as Jamaicans call it, I named it Rhyl, after the seaside resort in North Wales, which anybody that actually comes across this one in Wales might be mildly offended by, or appreciate the humour that is intended by. Oh, good. Isotopes. Isn't lovely? No, oxide, not isotope. Yeah, this is a cold, soggy planet, this one. Probably want to try and find my way back down to the sea. I suspect there's probably another waterborne life form, or liquid-borne life form, but -7, probably sea. The sea water, fairly saline as it's liquid. It does, as I say, sort of with the wet rain and the somewhat craggy nature of it, it put me in mind of North Wales, which is why, as I chose the the Rhyl for the planet name. But beautiful, the moorlands and so forth in Yorkshire, in England, and the hills of North Wales in Scotland. Ah. Good air. Let's get another backpack upgrade. Where are you? Are you? No. You're not new. Well, other than the floating rocks, I should say. Don't see many of those in Scotland. It does add a little bit of visual interest. You're another hostile, aren't you? Oops, wrong button. Okay. It's going to be a short one. I'm going to cut this one off here. And I've got bits and pieces of food cooking away that's going to need my attention now. So, only a very short one this time. Thanks for watching. Nice chatting to you again, Martin. I'll catch up with you soon, no doubt. Enjoy the rest of the day wherever you are. And thanks again. Bye for now.